I was running through the six with my walk. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. Running through the six with my...
What is up, guys? My name is Ferocity, and today I am bringing you the third episode of Ferocity's Focus. This is my little discussion series where I talk for about 8 to 10 minutes on a topic of my choosing, and I usually do it with a host or by myself, and today I've chosen to do it by myself, and we're going to be looking at the DLC 3 Descent wish list for Black Ops 3. So, now that we have the trailer out, I wanted to make a bit of a wish list of what I want this map to be, and what I hope it doesn't become. So I have the trailer in front of me here, and it's just playing on repeat over and over and over again without the music going, and I'm just watching it as I talk. And I've picked up a few points that I really want to push forward, that I want to see in this map, and I want to see it done well, just like it's been done in other maps, and hopefully this can be one of the greats that stands out amongst the rest. So to start this wish list off, I want to talk about the new boss zombie that it looks like we're going to have. He looks very, very similar to Brutus, and hopefully he is a mix between Brutus and the Panzer. That would be really, really cool. In the last couple of maps, we've had the Thrashers and we've had Panzer .2, and they were good boss fights. They were not boss fights, but they were good zombies to really mix up the gameplay. But I feel like in both maps, you could just get rid of them really, really easy, and they weren't too much of a hassle. But yet, in Mob of the Dead and Origins, Brutus and the Panzer were just unavoidable. As soon as they spawned in, that was the main focus, get them out of the way, or if it was Brutus, get him out of the way before he starts locking everything down, or else he's going to halt the gameplay to a screeching halt, really. So that was what I liked about those two maps, and if that is what they can do in this map, even though there are other elements that I'll talk about later, if they can get this zombie, if they can get it right, where it's not overpowering to the fact that it can do so much damage to the game that's not worth it, but yet not so weak that it feels like you can walk around and he could walk around with you and it'd be no problem, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I would like to see that happy medium, and I'd like to see this be a big part of this map. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is the general application of the map. I want this map to be done properly and done well, executed well, and I want to see it do just as good as what the other maps have already done, if not even better. I know a lot of people liked Drak when it came out, and then when Zetsubu came out, a lot of people liked it, but both maps had a really almost tedious feel to them after a while, and that's to be expected. You know, you'll learn everything about the map, and after a while it'll just become stale. But it felt way too quick when they got stale, especially Zetsubu. It lasted a week and then died off the face of the earth. So I hope this map is executed well and it lasts longer. It needs to last longer than Zetsubu, and it needs to last longer than Drak, because the wait that we have had to go through just to get this trailer was ridiculous. Yeah, we have a release date now, but we now have to wait till that release date, and we have to hope that we can get through at least the first month. I like looking at it by saying, if PlayStation 4 players, if they are still playing it by the time it comes out on Xbox and PC, the map has done well and it's done its job. Zetsubu, no one was playing it 2 weeks prior to the release date on Xbox and PC, so obviously Zetsubu had a problem in that case. But nonetheless, getting back to the point, hopefully this map can just really execute it properly, really get off to a good start. And as I said, if people are still playing it, you know, a month after the release, we've got a good map here, and it looks like there's a lot of content in this map, so we'll just have to see what happens. Okay, so moving on to the next thing is the beacon, like, I don't know what you would want to call it, but I'm just going to refer to it as a beacon. The beacon that falls from the sky about halfway through the trailer. I want to see this be done differently to anything else we've ever seen. I hope to God this is not the same as the generators on Origins, because what it looked like was you called it down, it landed, and then players would have to defend it. That's what I could see from the trailer. And I'm hoping to God that this has nothing to do with power, because we've already seen there's one single power switch. To be honest, there could be 20 power switches. I'm not really going to mind. That's never really a problem for me. But if this is to get the power activated or even keep the power on, that's going to be a very big hassle. But it's also going to make the map very, very complicated. And For me, I love complicated maps. Origins is my favourite map because of how complicated it is and just how much you can do in the map before you have to say, well, I'm done. If this sort of system works where you have to call the beacon down, protect the beacon, and it maintains the power on, yeah, it's an out there idea, but if this is right, the map's going to be a lot more complicated, and for me at least, it's going to be a lot more fun having to continuously deal with them. If they execute this poorly where it turns into those stupid rounds on Exo Zombies where you had to go and do the little objective in between rounds, that's going to kind of feel cheap and it's going to feel like they're taking an easy way out. But then again, we don't know what these beacons are used for. So to simplify it, I just want these beacons to be executed well, just like the rest of the map, but I want them to have a purpose in the map. I don't want these to feel like a background job that you can do for a little bit of extra stuff, but isn't necessary. I want these to be enclosed in the map. I want these to be involved in the map as much as possible, and hopefully they are executed well along with the rest of the map. So the next thing I want to talk about is the 2 new weapons we saw in the box scene as it was cycling through, and to be honest, I am more excited for the ray gun looking wonder weapon than the PPSH. Don't get me wrong, the PPSH is an amazing weapon, it's just I never got to play the World at War DLC, so I never got my hands on that gun, and to be honest, I feel like it could just be another gun, and I know that's going to get a lot of hate, that statement right there. But for me, I've never got to use it, so hopefully when I do get to use it in this map, I'll experience what everyone else feels for this gun. But for now, I just want to talk about the Wonder Weapon variant, and we can already tell that it's a ray gun variant, not only from the looks of it, but there's a scene that I talked about in my video breakdown. I'll leave that in the description below to go check that out. There's a scene where Dempsey is shooting them and a ray gun bullet comes out of it, or a ray gun shot comes out of it, I should say. So I'm really excited to see how those work. I want to see if they can redeem the ray gun from its decrepit self. I want to see if they just throw the ray gun out, or if they keep both the ray gun and that variant in. We don't know. And hopefully these aren't overpowered. Hopefully these aren't the Marshall's .2 where you just look at a zombie and it blows up into, you know, pink mist. Hopefully these are good, but not too good. And the last thing I want to talk about for this wishlist kind of video is the idea of the dragons. I want to talk about how I think they should work and how I would like them to work. Hopefully these are more story based than anything else. I hope these aren't just chucked in here for the lols. I don't hope these aren't just there to, you know, impress you. I hope these are really just there for the story, and I hope that they're there for the Easter egg. That's really what I'm hoping for. And I hope there is a good and an evil kind of deal with this, because in the trailer we see a scene where all our characters are running away from the dragon as it shoots something towards the ground, and then we also see a scene where we're riding the dragon. So it's really got me thinking, is there like the boss fight where we're on top of the dragon and we sort of just have to watch, or do we have to try and do something, or are these two dragons working together? Are they fighting? Are they good? Are they bad? We don't really know too much yet, but I'm hoping that there is a good and a bad in this. I hope that there's one dragon that will be an enemy for you. He's not going to want to do anything for you, and he's just going to be a nuisance, and he's going to make the map even harder. And I hope there is a dragon that doesn't necessarily do all the killing for you, but just helps you out a little bit, gives the map a little bit more balance. So guys, this has been my 3rd episode of FUROCITY'S Focus. I know this video is a little bit random, my ideas are a bit all over the place, but there isn't much information to go off, and hopefully you guys were able to understand what I was talking about. If not, in the description below will be the link to my breakdown of the trailer for this map. Please go watch that, because I feel like that is my better video when it comes out to these two, and I feel like that video is a lot more solid. So please go check that out in the description below. It's the first link down there. It'll have a big, you know, annotation with it down there. So just follow that over. Don't forget to look at the music and the social media links that are also down there. And don't forget to check out the awesome content creators at the bottom of the description. They really deserve the views because they are awesome content creators. So guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mechanic being used here. Okay, moving into the 58th second, we have this screenshot here of what I like to call the 935 robots, and this looks like it's going to be our equivalent to the